you know that feeling, that sense of connection? We're going to explore that today, but from two totally different angles. We're talking a massive global scale, all the way down to the quiet peace we can find inside our own minds. So yeah, let's dive right in. So here's the big question. Is it possible, really possible, that we're all linked in some kind of invisible way? It's a question people have been asking for, well, forever. But what's wild is that now, scientists are starting to find clues that suggest it might be way more than just a nice idea. Okay, but how on earth do you even begin to test something like a global consciousness? It sounds impossible, right? Well, believe it or not, some researchers think they've actually found a way to listen in. Enter the Global Consciousness Project. For decades now, this incredible scientific effort has been trying to see if huge world events, the kind that grab everyone's attention, can actually create a ripple effect in reality itself. So how does it work? It's actually pretty brilliant. Just imagine a whole network of digital coin flippers scattered all over the globe, constantly churning out random ones and zeros. Now first, they clean up all that data, getting rid of any normal interference like electrical surges or whatever. Then comes the cool part. They look for moments when that randomness suddenly isn't so random anymore, especially during big events that had the whole world watching. I love this quote because it puts it so perfectly. It's like these random number generators are essentially listening to the heartbeat of humanity. Think about that. It's like this network of machines is taking the pulse of our planet's emotional state. When we all celebrate together or mourn together, these things seem to notice. And what they're finding is just wow. The data seems to suggest that when we as a planet feel powerful, unifying emotions, things like love and compassion, the network shows this incredible spike in coherence. The randomness starts to look like a pattern. They've seen this during moments of intense global focus, like in the hours after the 9/11 attacks, or even during huge, coordinated global meditations. It's a mind-bending hint that our united feelings might actually have a real, physical, measurable effect on the world. Okay, so that's the massive global picture. But now let's zoom all the way in. Way in. What happens when that feeling of connection isn't shared by millions, but it just explodes inside of a single person? Well, that's what's known as a spontaneous spiritual awakening, or an SSA for short. And this isn't something that happens slowly over time. Nope. It's a sudden, overwhelming experience where your whole sense of you, your normal self, just completely dissolves, and you're left with this feeling of being one with everything. And people who go through this report these absolutely incredible shifts. This isn't just a cool idea. For them, it's a deeply felt reality. We're talking about an unshakable feeling of knowing something true, this intense bliss and unconditional love, and this sense that time and space, they just don't work the same way anymore. Can you imagine a feeling of peace so total that every single one of your worries just melts away? So an SSA is really about this huge shift in your consciousness. But there's also a specific type, a subset, called a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, or SKA. These have all the same incredible feelings, but they also come with these powerful, totally undeniable physical sensations. People talk about feeling a bolt of heat or energy rushing up their spine. It's really intense. Now, I know this all sounds incredibly mystical, and it is. But here's the thing. Modern science is getting really interested in this stuff. And what they're starting to find is honestly fascinating. Okay, get ready for this, because this is where it gets wild. When scientists actually analyzed the descriptions of these spontaneous awakenings, they found that the experience is remarkably similar to the altered states people have when they use psychedelics like DMT or psilocybin. Think about that. It's this absolutely stunning crossover between ancient spiritual experiences and cutting-edge neuroscience. So these spontaneous awakenings are obviously life-changing, but they're spontaneous. You can't exactly schedule one for next Tuesday. So what if you want to find that sense of connection, but, deliberately? Well, that's where the ancient practice of inner peace comes into the picture. And believe me, this search for connection is nothing new. For thousands of years, you can look at wisdom traditions all over the world, from the Stoics in ancient Greece to the yogis in India, and they've all been exploring this same idea, this same goal. They were all searching for what we call inner peace. But here's the key difference. Unlike a spontaneous awakening that just happens to you, inner peace is a deliberate state. It's a choice. It's not about your life being perfect because, let's be real, when is it ever? It's about finding and holding on to this core of calm inside yourself, even when there's a total storm raging around you. It's a skill you can learn. It's a practice. So how do you actually practice it? Well, with tools that have stood the test of time. Things you've probably heard of: meditation, mindfulness, practicing gratitude, taking time for self-reflection, even just the simple, powerful act of being silent for a few minutes. Seriously, just taking 5 minutes a day to sit in silence and focus on your breath can have this massive impact on how you feel. And this is way more than just some modern self-help trend. In huge world philosophies like Buddhism and Taoism, reaching this state of deep, unshakable peace, what they call nirvana, isn't just a nice goal. It's seen as the ultimate goal of life. It's like the Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We started with this idea of a global heartbeat, then we zoomed into this sudden inner explosion of oneness, and finally landed on this quiet, cultivated state of peace. So let's try and bring it all together. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could it be that modern science, with projects like the Global Consciousness Project, is finally building the instruments to detect what mystics and spiritual traditions have been describing for millennia? Are we finally seeing these two worlds, science and spirit, start to find common ground? And that leaves us with one last massive question to think about. If this data is even hinting that our collective compassion can literally create coherence, order from chaos, what could that mean for our future? I mean, really think about it. If we could learn to harness that, what challenges that seem impossible today could we overcome together? The potential, it's just incredible to think about.